So if you're thinking this is a bit of a clickbaity title, bear with me for a couple of minutes. I promise you there is an exclusive interview here with MILO and Senator David Leyonhjelm. So if you came here just for that, take a look in the comments for the point you need to fast forward to. So yesterday was a wild ride to say the least. I got to see the political/celebrity media circus up close, and it was absolutely fascinating for someone who's never been involved with it. The footage you're seeing here is from the Parliament House Q&A session with MILO and Senator David Leyonhjelm, released on MILO's own channel. Our footage was shot from a different angle. I don't think there's much point in releasing our full video of this event, as there are already multiple versions, but I might put out a video with what I thought were the best moments, a highlight reel if you will. The only thing I want to say about the formal Q&A session at this stage is, no matter whether you agree with MILO or not, you can't help but be impressed by his ability to hold a room. He is fantastically good on his feet, fielding questions from all sides and doing it with facts, evidence and humour. It's not to say every answer he gives is perfect, but he is truly impressive. And I'm sure the environment yesterday meant that he was a little more measured and a little less trolly, but it was still a joy to watch. Now, for anyone who doubts my presence, you can see me quite a few times in the footage, since I was sitting almost directly behind a slightly triggered Muslim woman who asked a question and was visibly irritated many times, and at one point yelling out bullshit at something MILO said. And because right behind me was a Sydney Morning Herald journalist who also asked a question that I will dissect in a later video. And here's my reaction to that journo's question. Anyway, after the Q&A was over, some of the media and people who wanted books signed were escorted down to Senator Leyonhjelm's office along with MILO's crew. He signed copies of books, took a few photos, and then the media, not including me, piled into the Senator's office but were told MILO would not be doing any interviews. Then they packed up and took off, and I was pulled into the room and I was told I had 2 minutes as MILO was scheduled to meet with Pauline Hanson. I actually managed to get 3. Now, I had a full page of questions, and so I just picked a few that I thought might be relevant. So with all that out of the way, here it is.
Of course.
MILO,
Improvise.
could you give us any insights into Despicable?
Yes, my new book is about sex crimes and scandals in Hollywood, about the hypocrisy of the progressive left in Hollywood, also the way that those scandals have blossomed out into the media as well. Mostly, I mean, people come to me for, I think, analysis and insight that they don't get elsewhere. And this book, really, the crux of it is how Hollywood's current crisis results from a collapse in moral foundations and a descent into sort of nihilistic values that they showed us. I mean, they showed us who they were with American Beauty, which of course starred Spacey. Yeah. You know, and the book is about how it came to be that an industry that used to be so tightly regulated for morals became, you know, the most degenerate industry in America.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Mr. Leyonhjelm, could you tell us why it was so important to have MILO here today?
Oh, look, MILO winds up the same kind of people that I like to wind up.
He's honest, isn't it? Just that.
You know, I love that fact. I agree with quite a lot of what MILO says. Not everything, but, you know, if somebody agreed with me 100% of the time, they'd probably be as boring as I am. So we can't have that. And I really do like the way MILO presents it too. I often think to myself, you know, if I could bring myself to be more outrageous, like MILO. I can't bring myself to be gay. I can't do that. But,
you haven't tried yet.
I only did it to annoy my mother, and then I got stuck in a rut. So there's hope for you. If you found a lefty who would be really incensed by it, I think you might be able to muster up the courage.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe if the leader of the Greens or something.
Yeah, it'd take a lot. But no, I absolutely love what MILO does. I love the fact that he offends all of the identity politics boxes. He just doesn't fit into their safe little left-wing world. And you know, I thought a perfect opportunity to give him an opportunity to explain himself here. We could keep out the worst of the rat bags, and so he would have an opportunity to explain.
We only had some of the rat bags in Fairfax.
Yeah. Oh,
and you dealt with them. You dealt with them absolutely beautifully, I must say. Absolutely perfect put down.
We had a couple of them outside the door as well, harassing us. I was on the way home, harassing Milo in particular.
Just one more, Milo. Do you think we will still know the name James Damore in 12 months' time? Is he an important person?
Yes, of course. Something happened in video games that everybody remembers very badly because it was reported on really badly, called Gamergate, which went down in history as a bunch of men on the internet harassing women. It wasn't what it was about at all. It was about it was a massive consumer uprising against feminist interference in video games. It was a huge cultural event. Well, James Damore's firing from Google was another huge cultural event, and these are going to start to stack up. And he's going to, I think, come to be seen as one of the earliest in a long line of huge events which smash the progressive left's hold on culture.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So that's it. That's all we got, unfortunately, but both 8-Bit and myself felt the experience was thoroughly worth it. And just before I go, I want to say a big thank you to some very special supporters of this channel that helped make this trip possible. Firstly, one of my supporters arranged discounted flights that saved us more than 50% on the normal fares, which was a huge help. And secondly, another patron acted as our chauffeur in Canberra yesterday, which was invaluable for getting us around. So a big thanks to those two guys. Anyway, as I said, I'll have more on the event at Parliament and the events surrounding it in future videos, so stay tuned for those, and I'll see you next time.